Hi, my name's Laura. This is my first video, so I feel a little bit awkward at the minute. But yeah, welcome to my channel. I think most of my content is going to be around lifestyle type videos and... Sorry, my cat is literally scratching my carpet at the minute. Mitzi. I can already tell that my cat's going to be quite a big distraction, but anyway, back on topic. So this video is mostly about... So I'm 28, I live in the UK. I still live with my parents, which to be honest, for people my age isn't very unusual. It's becoming the norm, to be honest, I would say. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about that. So anyone who's around my age, maybe younger, just know that it's not unusual if you're still living with your parents, because in today's economy I don't think it's very, well, I mean, it's definitely not easy to move out because rent is so expensive. Getting a mortgage is, I mean, I have looked into all of this sort of thing. Mortgage repayments are less than rent, but trying to get a mortgage is not an easy process because there's all these other factors that come in. Like, you need to get your mortgage approved by a bank or a loaner, and you need to have a good credit score. There's all these other things that kind of come into account, and it just makes it quite a complicated process overall to get a mortgage. And even then, trying to find apartments, or should I say flats in the UK, flats that are within your price range and that aren't horrible is a bit complicated unless you earn quite a lot of money. But yeah, even if you do earn fairly decent money, it's still not, it's just not what it used to be, because I'm sure we all know the cost of living has gone up, salaries, not so much. They've gone up just enough to let us know that, you know, our salaries are going up, but they don't put them up enough to, you know, to continue to allow us to buy and own our own houses or flats or whatever it is we want to own. So, yeah. But, yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about living at home at age 28, which to be honest is still pretty young. I'd say by today's society standards, that's probably not really considered unusual. And even in your early 30s, maybe not so much. But even if you're older than that, just know that it's not, you know, society kind of likes to kind of try and dictate, or kind of, people like to kind of try and dictate where we should all be in life by certain ages, and I think we should all kind of just ignore that, because, you know, these standards that have been set in society are quite old now. They're from past generations and they don't really apply to the millennial and Gen Z generation, which is technically, I'm just about Gen Z. So I suppose my generation, we kind of need to start considering alternative lifestyle and housing options. Some of us are fortunate enough to be able to still live with our parents, but I know that not everyone is. And I mean, there are alternative housing options such as room shares. There's even tiny houses now. Trailer parks, though, to be honest, in the UK, trailer parks tend to mostly be for the elderly or people who are around retirement age. So there may be trailer park options in your area, but then there may not be. I know that in my area, whenever I look at trailer parks, they tend to be for retirees. But yeah, I'm still living with my parents. And to be honest with you, I don't mind living with my parents. It's kind of stigmatized as, oh, you need to move out, but I don't mind it. I like the company, because if I was to move out, I would be living on my own. And I could do a room share, but to be honest with you, I'm not really keen on the idea of living with a stranger because I'm an introvert. And I also struggle to make friends a bit, partially because I'm an introvert, also because I'm just a bit socially awkward in general. But so that's why I'm still living with my parents. And yeah, like I said, I don't mind it, I enjoy it. It's nice to be with family, people that you know care for you and they've got your back. I do contribute financially to the bills, the food, and all of that, because I don't really like the idea of being a freeloader so much. It makes me feel a little bit guilty. But yeah, it's nice. Oh, my brother still lives at home as well. He's 2 years younger than me. He still lives at home as well. And yeah, like I said, I think so many people around my age, especially in the UK, and it seems to be becoming more common in the US as well, they're still living at home, across Europe as well. And to be honest, there's certain cultures where it's very normal for the children to still be living with their parents, even as they get into their 30s and their 40s, and it's not unusual for there to be 2 generations of adults living in the same house together. So it's definitely kind of a Western culture thing, this idea that, you have to move out, you have to become financially stable, and you have to fly the nest or whatever. It's definitely more of a Western cultural thing. Which, maybe we need to start putting that into question and kind of reevaluate that. Because something's gonna have to give. Either house prices and rent is gonna have to drop, or we're gonna just have to start kind of shifting our mindsets as a society towards this idea of young people staying at home longer and maybe just continuing to live with their parents for as long as their parents are still around. I mean, it would be nice to have my own place, but the other thing is I don't really want to rent because A, it's so expensive, and it would be quite a strain on my finances, and I would really struggle to save for a deposit for a flat if I was renting. Whereas if I stay with my parents, my costs are a lot lower because obviously my parents, they don't charge me rent, I just pay towards the bills. So that makes it a lot cheaper to be living with my parents, and I'm able to save money this way. But even then, it's like, I'm 28 now, so I've been working 6 years, I think, at this point. I think. Around 6 years. Yeah, it's tough. It's not easy. And even then, I think because so many of us, if we were to move out, we would be living on our own. This is becoming more normal for people from my generation, because past generations, I think it was more common for you to move out when you had a partner and you're like, let's move in together. But there's so many people from my generation, a lot of us are single for whatever reason. And so we don't really necessarily have a partner to move in with. Some of us might have friends we could move in with, but some of us don't have friends that we could move in with. And so staying at home and living with your parents is ultimately it makes more sense. And there's no shame in living with your parents. I know that there's some people that are a bit weird about that sort of thing. I've come across some people that are a little bit weird about that sort of thing, but listen, as long as you're okay with it and your parents are okay with it, it's no one else's business. The other reason some people might not be too keen on moving out is because most of us would be moving out and living alone, and sometimes that can get a bit lonely. It's nice to have someone there, you know. There's no shame in that either. So let me know in the comments if you still live at home, and sorry, my cat's distracting me again. If you still live at home, and if you do, then just know there's nothing wrong with that. And I think a lot of people, a lot of millennials and Gen Z especially, that's kind of just where the future's heading. You know, we essentially, with how the cost of housing is, we can't continue to have these societal standards and expectations any longer, because it's just no longer realistic for people my age, for people around my age to have their own place, especially not having their own assets. You know, maybe you're renting, but then having your own place, you know, mortgage, whatever, that's starting to look a little bit unrealistic for people from my generation, or more like it is pretty unrealistic. Some people are quite fortunate and they do have their own place, which is great for them. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. So yeah, I do have some other video ideas, so I've got a few videos kind of planned that I will get around to upload, you know. So most of my content will be around lifestyle stuff and kind of cultural things. I've gotten into minimalism recently, which I'm quite keen on talking about, because I've been loving minimalism actually. I used to be really into buying things, collecting things, and I still kind of have that type of personality, but minimalism has been amazing. I mean, just clearing out a load of stuff that's been sitting there that I don't really want anymore has just made me feel lighter, you know? It's kind of weird how that works, but yeah, so I'll definitely make a video about minimalism and decluttering and that sort of thing. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hope to see you in my next video whenever I post that. I really want to, because I've been trying to do this YouTube thing for years, since my early 20s, and I'm 28 now, but since my early 20s I've wanted to post YouTube videos, but I could never get over the idea of, like, I have to sit in front of a camera and talk to a camera and then edit myself and put it onto YouTube for potentially lots of people to watch. So, and I'm like, excuse me. And this all feels very weird at the minute, but I'm sure as I do it, I'll start getting used to it. And that's the main thing, is to just progress with it. Be committed, which I'm not very good at. I'm not very good with commitment and seeing things through and being, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent with things. Because the way my brain works is, oh, I'm going on tangents now. No, we're not going to do that, Laura. We're stopping here. So I'll see you in my next video.